Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Inside Movies Galore. I am your host, David Streggy, and today I have another review for you. And it was distributed out by Jan Chaos's DIY Productions company, which he puts out extreme gore films of his own, but he's taken it upon himself to help distribute some of the hardcore gore that is out there um, on roughly about 30 copies to help filmmakers get their work out there. And along with this Dead Bait film, I didn't realize this, but there's actually a second bonus film on here. So I'll get to that eventually. But for now, I'll talk about Dead Bait. Uh, Dead Bait is directed by a Norwegian by the name of Lars-Erik Lie. And except on this film, he puts his name as Dudley, probably as a pseudonym because he probably at the time didn't want to be associated with this film, but I think he is now associated with it, and he wrote it with a guy by the name of Kenny Wang. And I was laughing out loud about this film, even though it is quite gory. It's kind of like Dagon meets I don't know what. um, we have a young girl that is evidently um, traveling down a road, and I don't know whether she's trying to escape from somewhere or whether she's homeless or something of that nature. But she's very pretty and she's blonde. Um, I guess she's played by an actress named Emmy. Well, anyways, she ends up traveling down this long road and ends up finding this lake where this fisherman is nearby fishing for fish. And in a sense, I guess this is kind of a sexploitation film as well, because you get to see a full, um, you know, profile of her back side. You get to see her get naked and go into this lake. And this fisherman, uh, Trigv, Trigv, or Triv, played by Memnock Didrikson, uh, evidently becomes kind of a voyeur, watching um, watching this young lady go into the lake. When he sees her start to convulse, though, he goes down and tries to save her. When he pulls her from the water, it looks like he doesn't really want to touch her. And he tries to give her mouth to mouth, but she doesn't seem to be responding, although he doesn't seem to be very much trying very hard either. He seems kind of nervous to even be around her because at first he thinks it's it's wrong to touch her or whatnot. But then he brings her body to a table, and he looks around, and he decides what the hell. So he pulls down his pants, turns her body over, and he begins to fuck her. Uh, uh, Probably him thinking that she was dead. Well, um, she's not dead. Evidently, she is turned into some kind of a creature, or she is some kind of a creature who needed water, I think. Um, So that's where I think this is kind of like Dagon, in a sense, because she's crawling across the stable making some kind of noise, and he knocks her over the head, and then he, dumbass as he uh, is still aroused, and goes over to her head, sticks his dick in her mouth, and he begins having that mouth blow his dick. So ultimately, the chick, uh, played by Emmy, uh, grabs onto his buttocks, and bites his penis off, and that is, I laughed out loud at that moment. That had me, laughing very much out loud. I thought the gore effects in here, I was expecting it, and yet I wasn't kind of expecting it. It was a great moment, for, you know for this film, and I know that it has something to do with, luring a man in, biting his penis off, and eventually his buddy, comes down the road and sees her too, and she's chomping on his guts, his this friend's guts. So it was different. I thought the I thought the acting on Emmy's part was fucking great, and she had a gorgeous body. So, you got to play that factor in. And when you got a chick with a gorgeous body, um, you have to appreciate it, and you know it is what it is. So it was entertaining. I thought it was hilarious, and I think that this, one thing that is cool to know about this. Evidently, uh, before the editing had started, the producers had got in trouble. Evidently, they were in a Facebook group called uh, Skrek Root colon, and they were banned for showing a promotion of the photo in the group. Well, one of the administrators was offended, so the photo was moved from it, and the producers protested the decision to remove the photo. And Kenny Wang, the writer, he got thrown out of the group, while Lars-Erik Lie left in protest over this treatment. No excuse was given by the administrators at Sec Colon, and the producer of Deadbait went on to create their own Facebook horror group called Hardcore Horror. So the penis in the oral scene was actually a reindeer sausage, and the entire film was shot in a day, by, um, 3F and Violence Productions. So those are the companies that, um, Lars Eric Lie works with. So hopefully you enjoyed my description of this short film. It was definitely entertaining. I'm glad that I could share this with you. Again, it is on this uh, film, this particular copy. It is number 10 out of 30, so it's definitely a low number. And it was weird, but I enjoyed describing it for you. Hopefully, I'll have some very cool films out there to review for you. And thanks for listening. Have a nice day, evening, or morning wherever you are. Stay tuned tonight, yet for, um, the film discussion of Return of the Living Dead 3. And see you later.